Welcome to the Pleasure Dome. Gaming is huge, millions play, big money is involved. Gone are the days of simple arcades. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Today, companies have many ways to make money. Some are good, some not so much. This is about how your favorite games make money and how those methods affect you, the player. Strap in, because things are about to get exploitative. We'll expose the tricks of the trade, from classic sales to sneaky microtransactions. Get ready to see the gaming world in a whole new light. Let's dive in. The good old days. Remember when games just cost money? Back in the day, things were simpler. You walked into a store, you saw a game you liked, you paid for it once, that was it. The price on the box was the price you paid. This was the premium model. Developers got paid up front. They made the best game possible. No need to nickel and dime players later. Those days are fading fast. Now, companies have many ways to milk more money. Let's look at some of these modern innovations. Spoiler alert, they're not all good for you. Microtransactions, tiny fees, massive profits. Microtransactions are everywhere. They have become an integral part of modern gaming, infiltrating almost every genre and platform. From mobile games to console and PC titles, these small transactions are designed to entice players to spend money on virtual goods. These are small purchases within a game. Cosmetics, weapons, even advantages. Players can buy skins to change their character's appearance, powerful weapons to gain an edge in combat, or even boosts to progress faster. The variety of items available for purchase is vast, catering to different player preferences and play styles. They might seem cheap at first, but they add up. $1 here, $5 there, and soon enough, the total amount spent can be staggering. Companies love them. Why? Because they work. These microtransactions generate billions of dollars in revenue for game developers and publishers, making them a lucrative business model. Players get a little dopamine hit with each purchase. The thrill of acquiring something new, even if it's just a virtual item, can be addictive. This psychological reward system keeps players coming back for more, eager to make the next purchase. Before you know it, you've spent hundreds on virtual hats. It's easy to lose track of spending when each transaction feels insignificant. But over time, these small purchases accumulate, leading to significant expenditures. This is especially true in free-to-play games. These games are designed to be accessible to everyone with no upfront cost. However, they often include numerous microtransaction options to monetize their player base. These games rely on whales, players who spend huge amounts of money. A small percentage of players, known as whales, are responsible for the majority of the revenue generated by microtransactions. These high spenders are crucial to the financial success of free-to-play games. These whales subsidize the game for everyone else. Their substantial spending allows other players to enjoy the game for free or with minimal spending. This creates a balanced ecosystem where the game can thrive financially while remaining accessible to a broad audience. But even paid games aren't safe. Many now include microtransactions. Despite the initial purchase cost, these games often feature additional in-game purchases, blurring the line between free-to-play and premium models. This can make the game feel unfair. Players who are unwilling or unable to spend extra money may find themselves at a disadvantage, facing paywalls or slower progression. Like you need to pay to win. This pay-to-win dynamic can be frustrating, as it undermines the skill and effort of players who choose not to engage in microtransactions. It raises questions about the fairness and integrity of the gaming experience. DLC, more content or cut content. DLC stands for downloadable content. It's extra content released after a game's launch. This can be a good thing. New levels, characters, storylines. It can keep a game fresh. But DLC can also be a way to sell you content that should have been in the base game. Cut content held hostage, only available for an extra fee. This is a cynical way to make money. It divides the player base, and it can make you feel like you're not getting the full experience unless you pay up. Section 5. Subscription services. Pay to play, then pay more. Subscription services are becoming more common. These services give you access to a library of games for a monthly fee, like Netflix, but for games. This can be a good deal if you play a lot of games, but it's another recurring cost. And you don't own the games, you lose access if you stop paying. Some games even have their own subscription services on top of the base game price. This is a slap in the face to players. It's double dipping at its worst. Section 6. Examples. How your favorite games get your wallet out. Let's look at some examples of how popular games entice you to spend money. Games like Fortnite and Genshin Impact are built on microtransactions. They're free to play, which makes them accessible to a wide audience, but they make billions from cosmetic items and battle passes. These items don't affect gameplay but offer visual appeal and status. Games like Call of Duty and Destiny have season passes. These passes offer exclusive content and rewards. These give you access to DLC throughout the year, keeping the game fresh and engaging, but they also fragment the player base. Players who don't buy the passes can feel left out or at a disadvantage, and they can cost almost as much as the base game. This can make gaming an expensive hobby. Then there are mobile games. Many are designed to be addictive, with bright colors and engaging gameplay. These games often use predatory mechanics that encourage spending. They hook players with free content and then introduce paywalls. With predatory mechanics that encourage spending, players can find themselves spending more than they intended. Loot boxes, gacha systems, and endless timers are common tactics. These mechanics exploit the thrill of chance and the fear of missing out. It's the Wild West of monetization. Players are bombarded with options, making it easy to overspend without realizing it. In the end, it's important to be aware of these tactics. Understanding how games monetize can help you make informed decisions and enjoy gaming without breaking the bank. Set spending limits. Be mindful of in-game purchases, and remember that the best games are those that offer value without emptying your wallet. Happy gaming. Section 7. The impact on gamers' addiction, debt and frustration. Video games have evolved significantly over the years, but not always for the better. The rise of monetization practices has brought about a new set of challenges for gamers. These monetization practices have a real impact on gamers. They are designed to keep players engaged, but often at a high cost. The lure of in-game purchases can be irresistible, leading to a cycle of spending that is hard to break. They can lead to addiction. The constant need to progress and the fear of missing out on limited-time offers can make it difficult for players to put the controller down. This addiction can consume hours of their day, affecting their personal and professional lives. Players feel pressured to spend. The game design often nudges them towards making purchases to enhance their experience or to keep up with the competition. This pressure can be overwhelming, especially when the game is designed to be more challenging without these purchases, to keep up with their friends. In multiplayer games, the desire to stay competitive can drive players to spend money on upgrades and enhancements. This social pressure can lead to spending beyond their means, or to get an edge in the game. The promise of better performance or exclusive items can be tempting, leading players to make repeated purchases in hopes of gaining an advantage. This can lead to debt. The cumulative effect of these small purchases can add up quickly, resulting in significant financial strain. Many players find themselves in debt, struggling to pay off the money they spent on virtual items, especially for young people who don't understand the value of money. Teenagers and young adults are particularly vulnerable as they may not fully grasp the long-term consequences of their spending. This can lead to financial habits that are hard to break. There have been countless stories of people spending thousands on microtransactions. These stories highlight the dangers of unchecked spending and the need for better awareness and regulation. And then there's the frustration. When players realize how much they've spent without significant progress, it can lead to immense frustration and regret. When games are designed around monetization, it shows. The focus shifts from creating an enjoyable experience to maximizing profit, often at the expense of the player's enjoyment. They feel grindy and unfair. The gameplay can become repetitive and tedious, with players feeling like they have to pay to avoid the grind. Like you're being constantly bombarded with ads and offers, it ruins the fun. The constant interruptions and reminders to spend money can take away from the immersive experience that games are meant to provide. Section 8. The future of gaming monetization. More of the same? So what does the future hold? Will things get better or worse? Sadly, it's not looking good. Companies are making too much money from these predatory practices. We're likely to see even more microtransactions, more aggressive monetization, more ways to squeeze every last penny out of players. It's a race to the bottom, but there is hope. Some developers are resisting the trend. They're making games that respect your time and your wallet. We need to support these developers. Vote with your wallets. Section 9. Conclusion. Enjoy your hobby, but be aware of the business. Gaming is a wonderful hobby. It can be fun, engaging, and social. But we need to be aware of the business side of things, the way companies are trying to exploit us. Don't be afraid to criticize these practices, call out companies that are being greedy, and support developers who are doing things right. Together, we can make gaming a fairer and more enjoyable hobby for everyone. Section 10, bonus round, a final word from Jim. Remember gamers, stay vigilant. Don't let these corporate shysters take advantage of you. Keep your wits about you and never forget the power of your wallet. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a mountain of loot boxes to mock mercilessly.